Mr. Fusco, look at that. Look at these beautiful palantes. Or are they pantalones? Or are they palinabis? Or are they piranabis? Mr. Fusco, you know what I'm talking about? So look at my jacket I got for 2001. I'm going to wear 2001. Tell me the ladies. Tell me all the ladies ain't going to love this shit, Mr. Fusco. Mr. Fusco, you know the ladies are going to love me now. The ladies love clothing. They'd rather see a guy dressed beautiful, not beautiful, with an ugly body underneath it that hides the vadatabi and the vadatabi. They go for the clothing, Mr. Fusco, because I was always built like a brick shithouse, but I couldn't afford the gadibidis and the gadabidis. And so nobody wanted to go out with me, even though I was chiseled and rizzled and dazzled and dizzled. But now, Mr. Fusco, now I got the De Niro. Not just the De Niro, and not the Robert De Niro. He's a loser. That guy was always jealous of my favorite actors, the Barbarian brothers. Those guys could act, Mr. Fusco. Those guys were funny. You could tell they were all hard. They were like giant cartoons on the screen. Cartoons come to life. But I heard they were blacklisted their whole career. That's why they never really made it big. The public always loved them, but they never got out there, Mr. Fusco. I wonder why one of them, maybe both of them, they keep getting younger and younger while everybody else in the world is getting older and older. I wonder if that's a Met 11 sent from heaven, Mr. Fusco. Oh well, only time will tell. Maybe this year, next year at this time, he'll be 22 just like he says. And you gotta believe him, because when you're healing blind boys, a blind little boy, not boys, only one so far, and all those other healings that he's done. Well, Mr. Fusco, I don't have to tell you, you know the story. So, Mr. Fusco, come on, look at this jacket. This Night of the Light jacket. How much money you think that guy's going to make from these Night of the Light jackets? And the Night of the Light pantalones, Mr. Fusco? And what about the Night of the Light booties? Mr. Fusco, how much money is this guy going to make? How much money do you need in his food line? His Night of the Light mixes for the fixes. His Night of the Light more than healthy mixes for the fixes. Come on, look at all these lines, these clever lines, Mr. Fusco. Come on, Mr. Fusco, what do you think? You think that's Peter Palpin, the clown of the town, coming up with all this shit? Wit after kid, after lit, after lad, after lot, after loot, after meat, after moot. After Mita, after Vita, after Peter, after Potter. After Harry, after Potter, after Potter, after Pooter. After Pooter, after looter, after leader, after ladder. And the ladder and the looter and the leader and the meter is the meter and the matter of the sadder. And the sadder of the deeder and the deeder of the dadder is the feeder and the fodder and the father and the father. And the farthest of the fathers is the father of the bother and the bother of the bither and the bither of the wither. And the wither of the dither and the dither of the dather and the gither of the gather and the lither of the lather. And the slither of the slithery and the liver of the livery. And the delivery and the delivery and the delivery of the lines. The lines all shine, the lines all shine. The lines all shine. They'll shine through all time, they'll shine through all time. They'll shine, they'll shine. They'll shine through all time. And the light could do this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 360 days a year. And so these blackballless people actually think they could stop us just from walking into town and start selling tickets for $2 a pound. Or is it $2 a round? Well, it doesn't matter because we could do a different show every day. So in other words, all these other comedians, they write one show and do it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, even a career. You know, like that guy. Hi, diddle diddle. The cat and the motherfucking fiddle. He fiddled with my diddle and he diddled with my daddle. And he daddled with my diddle and he diddled with my doodle. And he played with my noodle and he ate all my strudel. And he even played with my motherfucking poodle. But he was rudel and moodle and he always was in a bad moodle. And whenever he saw the tootle and the tittle and the title, and the little and the lidle and the fiddle and the fiddle, and the fiddle and the vital and the voodle and the needle and the needle and the nidle and the nidle and the noodle, and the tootle and the title and the title and the teetler is the wheedler and the waddler and the waddler and the toddler. And the toddler and the toodler and the toodler and the attitude. Ah, that guy had an attitude. He had an attitude. Mr. Fusco, that fucking comic had a fucking tool. He thought he was better letter for letter than Peter Palpin. Peter Palpin would go up to him in the gym and want to talk to him. You know the guy I'm talking about, Mr. Fusco. I don't want to name names. I don't want to name names, Mr. Fusco. But you know who I'm fucking talking about. You know who I'm fucking talking about, Mr. Fusco. And this guy thinks he's better letter for letter. And he would ignore Sweetie Peter like he was a fly on the fucking wall. Which, a matter of fact, the one and only love, the one and only light, the only and only bright, is the fly down every wall and every hall. And he knows what everybody's doing behind Peter Palpin's back. And he tells Peter Palpin everything. Ah, yes, he tells the Peter Palpin everything. He tells the Peter Palpin everything.
Colossal raps dripping out the nostrils, out the mouth, from the brain, out the spine. Rhymeably awful, primarily possible. One rhyme at a time, medalist. Shredding this with hands rougher than a jacket made of leatherist. Gargantuan mentalist, emphasis, no blemishes. Obstreperous, inhabiting non-adaptable premises. I'll hit you with those sentences that's bigger than your portion is. Anonymity, I be the fortunate extortionist, living in the world surrounded by corporate ornaments and random life situations that can have you cornered in. When you least expected it, it'll have you intercepted. It continuously repeats until you finally get the message. Lose your leverage and drop a win. Standing up luminous, numerous, numinous, achieving great superness. On the mic with the super spit at unexpected rates. I keep my mind off this world, sit back and expectorate. Create a trace to redecorate all of this we made. It enlightens me and keeps my mind off the risks and stakes. Stones and sticks may break my bones, but I'll still concentrate on the tones that are...
Jackie. Hey, Jackie. Jackie, what do you think about all this? Jackie, what do you think about all this, Jackie? Jackie, what do you think about all this, huh? Come on, Jackie, you think about everything. I know you, Jackie, while you're driving the bus all day. You're always thinking, you're always thinking about stuff, Jackie. So what are you thinking about this Night of the Light guy, Jackie? Come on, you've been on YouTube. His ruby red slippers. Are they ruby red shoes, Jackie? What does it matter, Jackie? Jackie, all that matters is the heart of the matter. And Jackie, this guy's channeling the one and only. For sure, Jackie. Jackie, I know he is. Jackie, I know he is. Come on. Jackie, what do you think? Tell me the honest truth. From your heart. You always speak from your heart, Jackie. You're a little boisterous, Jackie. But you always speak from the heart. That's why I love you, Jackie. Jackie, I love you. Did I tell you that ever, Jackie? I always tell you that, Jackie. Jackie, look, I got you some flowers. Jackie, look, I got you some flowers, Jackie. Jackie, look at these beautiful flowers I picked for you. Have you ever seen more beautiful, not beautiful flowers, Jackie? Jackie, look at these flowers I picked for you. They're yellow because it's a sign. You need to be mellow, Jackie. Jackie, you need to be mellow like the yellow. You gotta stop yelling. Jackie, you gotta be yellow and mellow and stop yelling. You know, like Helen. You know, like Helen Keller. But she couldn't hear, so she was a yeller because she didn't know how to smell of the roses in her lifetime before. So imagine what she did, Jackie. Jackie, imagine what she did in her other lifetimes to deserve no hearing and no seeing. That's not good, Jackie. She wasn't a nice lady or maybe a man in her lifetime, maybe lifetimes before, to get dealt that deck of cards, Jackie. So what do you think of all that, Jackie, huh? Jackie, what do you think of all that?